Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today, we are covering A Haunting in Venice. But before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. So, I am drinking the Republic of Tea Pomegranate Green. It's got green tea, hibiscus, pomegranate, and other natural flavors. And it's just a little sad tea bag, so I'm just going to prop it up against a candle.
And I am drinking Stress Less Wintermint by Republic of Tea. And it has organic peppermint, natural lemon extract, organic lemon peel, organic spearmint, organic lemon balm, organic licorice, ashwagandha root extract, lemon juice, lemon verbena, and organic wintergreen flavor.
And thank you to the Republic of Tea for allowing us to continue to do what we love. And for our wonderful tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. So for the summary, a former detective is invited to a seance and soon learns no one can be trusted. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, so for entertainment, I will say this is a movie that's kind of slipped through the cracks for me, and I haven't really heard a lot about this movie. But it was actually like a pretty good movie. Like if you like the movie Clue or Knives Out, it's a more serious version of that type of movie, of like a whodunit movie. Mm-hmm. But no, it's really good. And it's like, even though it's more serious, like the characters are like eccentric, like especially like the former detective.
Yeah.
I love the mustache.
The glorious stash.
The glorious stash. But I rate this a 7.5. I will be watching this again, but it's like, once you know the twist, it's been a little sad. But I will say, I didn't really see the twist coming on like who it was, and then they add an additional twist on top of that kind of like continues to expand and like make it interesting and help the pieces fit together more. So I really enjoy at least the type of mood that this movie took me through. Is he's going through to the seance, and I was like, oh, since it's called A Haunting in Venice, I'm like, okay, so it's going to be an actual haunting, so it's a skeptic being convinced that this haunting is real. But then it turned into like a whodunit movie, along with a perhaps ghost, but not sure because he was being drugged without his knowledge. So like I kind of gathered that they were implying it was an actual ghost. I don't know. I did get that mood, but I wasn't quite sure.
I got the vibe that there was a ghost at play for at least part of it.
Yes.
Not all of the things, but especially at the end, there was some.
Yeah. But like the twist of like his friend, the author, actually not just the way that she kind of set him up. And Tina Fey did like a really good job like portraying the author. I don't think I've ever seen her in a serious role before, so it's actually really nice to see her in this kind of role for a change. But yeah, and it is one of those movies where the characters are distinct, so you remember them, and it's easy to keep track. And this movie, I think it was extra important for them to have those distinctions because there's quite a few characters in this movie. Yeah. And I love the fact that it was in Venice, and the building that they used was had a lot of character. Like this movie is like a whole vibe, and I'm for it. But yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. So I also give it a 7.5.
Okay.
For entertainment. I'm honestly a little bummed that I haven't heard more hype for this movie. I think it was a made-for-streaming movie. I could be wrong. But I don't remember hearing anything about it in a theater at all. It was just something that I kind of stumbled upon. I was the one that requested it for this one.
Yes, it's a good request.
But it's a fun movie. It's not quite scary. No. I mean, it could have been. They could have added a bit more in there to make it more scary. But I feel like it didn't really need it. It would have been kind of cool if they did, but it was more the aspect of the crime and figuring out who was behind it.
Yeah, and it does a really good job keeping you wrapped in and wanting to find out who did it.
Absolutely.
We got a visitor again.
Oh, goodness. So, the characters are varied enough that even if you're awful with names like we are, you still know who is who. Even if you don't necessarily remember their names. Their personalities are different enough that while you're watching it, it's easy to tell who they're talking about. And they don't all blend together. Which is very, very nice. Especially in this kind of movie.
Yes.
And with so many suspects, it's nice to know that there's a difference between each person.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's some intrigue there. I like that the detective is constantly trying to debunk different things that are happening and explain it rationally. And even when he can't at the time, he's like, okay, you know what? You're right. I can't explain it right now.
Yeah.
But I will eventually. So he's like, I just need to think about it a little bit more. That's all. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying right now. That's all I'm giving you right now. And I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there were some things that they could have done a little bit better on the effects with. The bugs coming out of the kid's skeleton come to mind. But otherwise, it was fairly well done. Also, the CG and silhouette of the medium getting impaled on the statue. That wasn't quite as well done, but I get it. Otherwise, it's a fairly well done movie, and they try to use mostly practical effects with what they can, which I appreciate. So, it is nice also how they mention that Venice is actually sinking into the river. So
fun fact.
Yeah. So with the storm and the flooding and everything, and that they can't get anyone out there for that amount of time until the storm is done, that makes sense as to why they're all stuck there for the time being.
Yeah.
I really do like how they brought that in.
She won't commit to jumping on my lap, but she'll just meow about it. God damn
there
it.
She is. Hi, cutie. So, but very interesting movie. If you're really paying attention, or if you know just a couple random facts, like I did before the movie started, it can be kind of easy to call who the killer is. But otherwise, even then, honestly, it was still interesting. For sure. And I like the added little bit of the blackmail and who was behind the blackmail. That one I didn't call. So.
Yeah. And it's like, this is maybe a part of the realism, but I like that the twist makes sense.
Yes.
Logically.
Yes. Absolutely.
They don't do a twist just to throw a twist in there.
And when the detective is going through everything, he doesn't jump to conclusions either. Everything that he talks about has evidence to back it up.
Yeah.
So as you're going through the movie, following him around and getting these different clues, they're not just making leaps to different things. They're actually helping you through the progression of it and learning all these things.
So for realism, I give it a 1.5 just because it is like, you know, it's just like it's a very like staged feeling movie, I guess is the best way I can put it.
Because it's a whodunit.
Yeah. But the fact that like the reason why the cause of the daughter's death, the fact that it starts off as like the mother just wanting to keep the daughter there, and then it's like an accidental poisoning because of the maid or whatever, the other person. It's like that was completely like plausible, where it's like the mother didn't initially mean harm, but then it kind of went
south fast.
Yeah, had some consequences. I do like, the fact that the detective, he's not like one of the eccentric detectives, or the detectives are like, they almost have a superhuman ability because they're like, I know who did it. And they're, you know, accusing all the people. And then it's like, and then they have this convoluted story. Like, he does seem to be a lot more methodical, and his reasoning made a lot more sense. And it didn't feel like he was pulling it out of his ass.
Yeah. Honestly, if they made another one with that character, I would watch it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's just a lot of, like, circumstance type of, but it's like, that's the type of thing to expect for this movie. But I will say they did flesh out the characters in a way that did feel, I mean, it still felt like a whodunit movie, but it felt less, BS-y, I guess is the best way to put it.
For sure.
Did you see that is also based on a book? Yeah, at the end it said it was based off of a book, and I'm like, I kind of want to take a look. I want
to read it now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The book was not called A Haunting in Venice. It's called something completely different.
I'm sure it was.
But yeah.
But yeah.
But that's what I got for realism.
So I give it a 2.5. The character interaction seemed genuine. I can't very well call it quite staged because the mom did invite those people. And since the ex-fiance was actually in love with her, it makes sense that he would keep tabs, and if he hears that that's going on, then he's going to want to be there.
Yeah.
Because he wants any kind of news of her at all. He wants peace himself.
Yeah.
It also makes sense that they call the medium a fraud, and how she's mostly just using showman's tactics, even if it's to give people peace or comfort. Because that's what a lot of people want when they talk to a medium or psychic, is they don't necessarily want the truth, they want to feel better about the person's passing. Whether it's comfort or a sense of closure or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Also makes sense that the assistants that the medium has are mostly using her as a stepping stone. And they have their own goal in mind, just to get out of Europe and go to America.
Mm-hmm.
So they were using her as their meal ticket.
Yeah.
To do so. And if she got famous because of a book that the writer lady was going to put out, then that would make their goal that much closer, that much faster.
Yeah, it's like everyone was connected in like their goals at some capacity, yeah.
Yes. I feel like it was a little bit stretched and a bit of a coincidence that the detective that was on the case, or the policeman rather, that had arrived when they said that the girl had drowned, ended up being able to work for the the detective guy. That seemed a bit convenient. But, you know, you do you, movie. Movie's got a movie a little bit. And it was a way for the writer to get in with him. Though I feel like she didn't necessarily need that in with him since she already knew the detective. Like, they had a rapport.
Yeah. But
it's fine. It didn't detract that much. And it was kind of an interesting side twist. A little bit. I like, again, how he explains the different conclusions that it comes to and backs everything up with evidence. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I feel like this movie is the movie of whodunit for those who are actually skeptical.
Yes.
And don't want to be fed, like, BS reasoning.
Well, and they have a little bit for those that do kind of believe in that stuff as well. But they make it more within the realm of possibility in that aspect. It's just, it's a lot of movies got a movie, like you said.
Yeah.
And of course, that's the one night that she decides, the killer decides, yeah, she gotta go, he gotta go, everybody gotta go. With a detective on the premises and an ex-cop on the premises.
Yeah, real smart.
It's a great idea.
Yep.
Those are the main things that I have there. It seems like just barely in the realm of possibility with some of the stuff. Him finding the secret passage, quote unquote, was a little bit outlandish. Just a bit.
Yeah.
But the flowers that were used to make the honey, that's actually a real thing. And the honey can cause hallucinations and poison people.
I did like that callback, though, where it's like they brought them on that roof, they gave them a little hint, and it's like, you know, whenever the mother makes that comment, you're like, oh, maybe it's because she's a hobbyist or whatever. But then it calls back and you're like, that's why. That's why.
Like, she ripped out all of the flowers that she and her daughter had loved and planted together to specifically plant this one kind of flower so that she could make honey with that one flower to concentrate that compound that can cause hallucinations and poison people in horrible doses. So, yeah. So, talk about a mom that won't let go. But but that is actually a real thing. The honey. If you have a mom that's toxic, might want to see someone, please.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yep.
And please try to have her see someone too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got there. It's just, it's a fun movie. It doesn't feel quite real, but a lot of the stuff in it seems plausible, at least.
Yeah.
And the interaction seemed genuine.
Yeah, it's like a logical whodunit movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But overall, I feel like this one, at least maybe our heads have been in the sand, but I haven't really heard a lot about this movie. I feel like this movie needs a little bit more hype, because whenever I went to IMDb, it didn't have that good of reviews. I'm like, what? This is a pretty good, solid whodunit movie.
And talk about a glorious stash.
Yeah. It's just, it deserves an 8 just for the stash alone. Yeah. Thank you for joining us today, and let us know what you thought of the movie. If you'd like to recommend a movie, game, or tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord. And if you'd like to keep up to date with their content, you can find our link tree listed below.
And if you'd like to support us monetarily, we have a Teespring and PayPal, or we have our affiliate link with Republic of Tea available. It does not affect the price of the tea, it just allows us to continue to do what we love. And you can find all of the sites mentioned linked below. But until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy. Bye!